we have another completed sketchbook. So welcome to the 2024 Sketchbook Tour. If you are new here, hello, my name is Emily. I make art videos, and if you like what you see here, then feel free to subscribe. My sketchbooks are chaotic. I'm not the kind of artist that creates perfect spreads on every page. I definitely don't do like finished work in here. It's more of just a experimentation, a practice place, that sort of deal. Also, I'm gonna be very honest about the sketches in here, so I may say that I don't like certain things, and that's not me putting myself down or anything like that. So yes, please don't feel bad if I self-critique a little bit, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Let's get into it. I will put all of the sticker artists on the screen. Okay, so this is a Royal Talons art creation sketchbook. It is the 8.3 by 11.7 size. I started it in November 2023 and I finished it in February 2024. So it did take me a while, but I do consider this my 2024 sketchbook. We have some dog sketches. As you'll see, I love sketching dogs and cats, so there's a lot of that in here. And these are just using like one colored pencil. I think this one I used a little marker as well, a little water-based marker. Here I was testing out the Artex colored pencils. I did a video on it, so I'll put that up in the cards. Yeah, I really liked these colored pencils. Oh, and this is a sticker that came with my Kari sketchbook easel that my artist friend Rebecca created. It's really cool. I wish I had it near me so I could show you. Yeah, very cool. She sent one to me to try and I love it. Oh, and this is just, I stuck this in here. It was my first try at acrylic markers. It's just some mushrooms. Oh, and if you can see that I cut out a page, it's because I originally had the first page as the Artex colored pencil swatches, but I just realized I prefer opening my sketchbook to art, to drawings. So I cut out those swatches and I put them in the back. So that's what that is. Okay, so it usually takes me a little bit to get in the groove with a sketchbook, and I found that especially true with this one because I usually work in this size. This is my new sketchbook, which I'm loving, and I just found this sketchbook a little bit big for me. I did enjoy having all of the room, but I also found it a little daunting. And also I found I was less likely to pick up my sketchbook because it's not as easy to take it with me. You know, it's a little more clumsy to sketch in bed or on the couch with this big sketchbook. So yeah, I just felt like I was more limited to sketching at my desk, which isn't really ideal for my lifestyle. So I think that's also why it took me so long. Okay, anyways, enough rambling. Here we have some graphite cat sketches, some round cats. I think these are edited. I don't think these cats are actually that round, but fun to draw nonetheless. These are also Artex colored pencil doodles and a mechanical pencil drawing. Okay, here we go. So lots of dogs, right? I kind of got into the habit of drawing boxer dogs. I think they have a really fun head structure. So I tried to play with exaggerating the shapes, and I think that's pretty fun. I'd like to do more with that, I think. This is also with the Artex colored pencils, and I really liked them, but I did find that they waxed out quite a bit. So you can see this dark purple, I don't know, it's a little patchy, so, but still really great budget colored pencils. You'll also see throughout this sketchbook that I start using ballpoint pen more and more, which was a theme in my last sketchbook, but even more so here. And I really think towards the end, I found my groove with them. Like this, to me, isn't great. I was still trying to figure out how to use ballpoint pen, but as we progress, I think you'll see the ballpoint pen sketches get a little bit better. Oh, and here is a basset hound. They also have really fun shapes, and I wanted to exaggerate the droopiness. We have some hand sketches here, a little pencil portrait. This might be with my Blackwing pencil. That's my favorite sketching pencil. The matte one, the black one. And we have some notes here. I also drew this little cat from Instagram, Francis. I love that cat. I think he sadly passed away, the sweet old man. He had this really wonderful, I've never had a cat, so I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a Elizabethan ruff. Very, very regal. And then here I tried doing a little charcoal drawing, and I don't know, wasn't super happy with it. Oh, also for my pencil sketches, I always get asked if I spray fixative on them, and typically I don't in my sketchbooks. I try not to overfill the paper with graphite. I kind of let the paper tell me how much graphite it's willing to accept. And I find when you do that, it doesn't smudge too much and it doesn't transfer too much. If you're going really hard with the graphite and the tooth of the paper is full up, then you'll get sort of a smudgy mess. People always ask how my pencil doesn't smudge, and I don't know. I don't know. I hate the smell of fixative, so. Okay, so here, I really wanted to get better at ink pen drawings, so you will see that throughout the sketchbook. I'm still not great with them. I find it a really daunting medium, but here I was just trying all of the different ink pens I own and trying to figure out which ones I preferred. We have some more pencil sketches here. This is, I think, just with my mechanical pencil. I just wrote down some video suggestions that I received. I always try and write down video suggestions when I get them. Here is an eye. I was once again using those Artex colored pencils. We have an eye here, I think with ballpoint pen and colored pencil and marker. We have a couple more basset hounds. I really liked how this one turned out, but then I used alcohol marker and it kind of came through to the other side. I still feel like I wasn't in the groove yet. Here I used ballpoint pen, and I don't know, when I look at these, I can tell that I was so uncomfortable with them, and I can see myself getting more comfortable with them as the sketchbook progresses. I think this is the actress from Pachinko. I don't know if that was a movie or a show, but I read the book Pachinko and I really loved it, so I wanted to sketch something from it, and I gave her an extra eye. I don't know, I felt like the drawing was boring and I wanted to do something crazy. We got some fish, and I just used a bunch of different mediums here. I think I used water-based markers, colored pencil, maybe ballpoint pen, I don't know. And here we have a cat with a rough collar. Yeah, and I tried to just simplify it into something more graphic, I think. Yeah, and I wasn't really a fan of this page, so I wrote, sketchbooks don't have to be pretty, which is true. Okay, here we go, another ugly page, I think. This was my first go at using ink, and I really struggled. I covered up quite a bit with acrylic wash, and I drew a graphite eye here just to convince myself that I can draw, because I was struggling so hard with the ink pens. I tried using water with it and it just didn't work. I tried smudging it, and I think what I've come to learn, and this is going to be super obvious I think for most people, is that ink is a line medium, and I'm very much a shape artist. When I paint and draw, I build up my images with shapes rather than with lines. So my brain just literally is not programmed to work in this line style. So it's taken some time to try and reconfigure my brain, and you'll see some ink sketches later where I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Still not great, but yeah. And then once again, when you go out of your comfort zone, I feel like you have to go back into your comfort zone. So I did some graphite sketches here. Once again, just focusing on shape and value. Okay. And then I really wanted to practice figure drawing again, because I am super rusty with figure drawing. So I took an online class on figure drawing and anatomy, but I realized that to practice and get better at the figure, I would need to do a lot of sketches. And I really didn't want to fill this sketchbook with pages and pages of, messy figure sketches. So I actually started using a different sketchbook just for figure drawing and practicing figure drawing. And then here's a ballpoint pen portrait sketch. And yeah, it's a little scraggly, it's a little messy. I didn't really have the hang of it yet. I'll let you know when I think it clicked, because it's further on. Okay, so some more pen sketches, more dogs and cats, of course. Still hadn't really gotten the hang of it. I don't like how I constructed this at all, but I think this guy is kind of cute. More dog sketches. Here we have coal erase and colored pencil. Here I did a combination of markers and colored pencil and pen. And here I used ballpoint pen. And I feel like with this one, it started to click. I think I was finally figuring out how to show depth with the ballpoint pen. So it starts getting better from here, I think. These are wire-haired dachshunds, and I think they're so cute. I love their fur and their sort of bearded look. If you don't know, I have a long-haired miniature dachshund, but you'll see sketches of her on the next page. And this is a gouache painting of a kettle, and this is with Himi gouache. I have a video of me painting this. It was my first time trying Himi gouache, and I don't know, it was kind of fun. Fun little sketch. Oh, there we go. Here's my dog Luna. She has very expressive eyes, and she's all black, so she's kind of hard to photograph, and she's kind of hard to draw, but I tried to really focus on shape and exaggerating her shapes. Oh my goodness, and it says she turns 3 in February. She just turned 4. That's crazy. And here are some graphite portraits this is all done with my black wing pencil. And here's a little jelly cat mountain plush. It looks like we have a swatch page. I bought some new Turner gouache colors and I just wanted to swatch them, so I just swatched them straight out of the tube and then added a little white, and then also did sort of a more watercolor glaze with them. Super fun. And then I also swatched the Ferris wheel press inks that they sent me, and I have a video on that as well, using those inks in a painting. And here we have an Indiana Jones page. I was rewatching Indiana Jones with my partner because he somehow had never watched them. I'm outing him here. And I just had to sketch some Harrison Ford. I've drawn him before as Han Solo, but this was my first time drawing him as Indiana. So this is coal erase, like the blue coal erase pencil, and these are colored pencils. So Faber-Castell Polychromos and Prismacolor Premier. We've got some really messy skull sketches, and then trying to sketch the skull and then build the face on top of the skull. And this was without a reference, it was just from memory. And then here we have some more pen sketches. We have some Legolas drawings here. Yeah, this one doesn't really look like him. I did it in ballpoint pen. And then this one was a little bit better with coal erase. And I was just trying something different here, hatching in one direction. See, this was when I was still doing the figure drawing class. And then some ballpoint pen chihuahua drawings. I think chihuahuas are so funny. More cats. How many times am I gonna say that? This was really fun. I did alcohol marker and colored pencils, and I should do more of this. I like it. And a couple ballpoint pen cats as well. And I wrote, "Finally getting the hang of this." Oh, this is gonna be a long video. More anatomy notes and a little colored pencil cat. I tried to do sort of a different technique with colored pencils where I layered them. I built it up in layers rather than in segments and patches and tiles. And then here I have some ballpoint pen sketches. They're all portraits from the Instagram account Earth's World. I love that account. They take candid photos at state fairs across the United States. There's lots of super interesting faces on there, really great for practicing, and they're usually outside in pretty intense sunlight, so you get really good light and shadow. And it's interesting to me because state fairs aren't really a thing here. Well, I guess we have fairs, but it just seems to be a much bigger thing in the US. I'm from Canada, if you don't know. Here I have a couple blue coal erase portrait sketches, and you might notice that they are kind of different from my other portrait drawings. This is more the method I sketch in when I am drawing for a painting rather than for a drawing itself. You can kind of see the difference. Like, this is a drawing to be a drawing, and this is more a drawing to be a painting. It's kind of like a roadmap for me. Here we have a colored pencil portrait, and it just says miscellaneous pencils in my pencil case. So I just sort of challenged myself to use the colors I had. And then there's just a quick sketch of a bunny. Here we have some alcohol marker and pencil crayon portraits. I did a video on these. I'll put it in the cards. I'll put all of the videos I mention in the description box too. I enjoyed doing these, but I feel like I did rely a little too heavily on the colored pencils, and I do want to get better at letting the marker sort of be the star of the show. I think this one was my favorite. I really like the shape design in this one. Okay, here's kind of an ugly page. We have a really quick pencil crayon portrait sketch and a bunch of ballpoint pen sketches here. I think I remember that one of these I added the post-it note because I wanted to fix the drawing and go over the drawing, and then I think I added the other two for visual interest. But yeah, nothing too special here. We have some chihuahuas and some more cats, of course. I like this guy with the airplane ears. By the way, my patrons over on Patreon in the Sketchbook Pal tier, they see all of my sketches before anyone else does. Every month I scan all of my sketches that I did that month, and I upload high-res scans for my Sketchbook Pals on Patreon. So if any of you guys are watching, I know you've already seen these, but maybe it'll be cool to see them all together. Okay, so I think this was my biggest ballpoint pen breakthrough because these are entirely ballpoint pen. I didn't use any pencil, and I was really happy with how they turned out. I did some bears and some beavers, and I think I finally got the hang of really showing depth with ballpoint pen, and you know, I would do a more dense outline for things that I want to come forward. Like you can see this leg here has a denser outline than the back leg. So yeah, I was really happy with these, and crazy thing is, I actually had COVID when I drew this page. I remember I was on the couch rewatching Good Will Hunting, sick as a dog. I was at the tail end of COVID, but I still felt horrific. But I was human enough to be able to sketch for the first time, so. And I can't believe my COVID brain was able to do these sketches. Okay, so here we have some more ink drawings, and we have some gouache paintings here. I was still very much struggling with the ink. I kind of liked how this one turned out. Ringo, I think I was too heavy-handed with it. I think it's okay. But I think that with ink, I just have to acknowledge that it's not going to be perfect, and that's the charm of it. It's sort of fun to let it do its thing, similar to watercolor. And you can see here I'm still sort of battling with focusing on line versus shape. Like I'm filling in these shadow shapes, and then I'm like, no, this doesn't look good. So I don't know. Some boxer dogs, because I guess that was my fixation. Still is, honestly. I just drew a boxer in my new sketchbook, but I think this one I used the Himi Mia gouache, and in this one I actually used my regular gouache, my Winsor Newton Holbein Turner palette, just to sort of compare. All right. Oh, this one's fun. So this is a sketchbook spread. See, I don't normally do like full spreads of things, but This was really fun. So some of these I used ballpoint pen, and once again, I feel like it had clicked at this point. It had clicked. Like I think these ballpoint pen sketches are a lot nicer than the ones at the start of the sketchbook. Like I really liked this one with the sort of mushroom slime. Yeah, and then I did other ones with colored pencil. I thought this one was super fun. And then this is here because I accidentally dropped ink on the other side, which is too bad. Yeah, this page is cute, right? Okay, so here this was opening day for baseball for the Toronto Blue Jays. So I drew a bunch of the team members while watching the game, which was fun. If you're a fan, then maybe you can recognize some of these guys. Kikuchi's no longer with us, no longer with the team, but there's Vlad, there's Barrios, there's Bo, there's Kirk, and here's Springer, who I accidentally sort of cut off the page. Yeah, I was never a sports fan my entire life. And then like 2 years ago, I got really into baseball and I never would have thunk it, but I love it. So here we have a colored pencil persimmon, more goofy Chihuahua sketches. I just think they're really funny little creatures. So like this guy with the toast on his head. And we've got a Palia. Here's a little eye study in colored pencil. Okay, so here we have sort of a aquatic page, if you will. We have some pen sketches and some pencil sketches. I think I was off my pen game on this day. Like I don't think these are amazing, but it was fun. But these guys are like prehistoric and they're huge and freaky, but cool. Freaky, but we like them. This is a ghost octopus. This is a firefly squid. This is a cuttlefish, I believe. More ballpoint pen. It's like when I had COVID, I had a pen ability that I didn't, like I feel like this is a lot messier than the ballpoint pen sketches before. I don't know, I mean they are portraits. I thought this one was kind of fun. We've got a coal erase portrait and we've got some fish, and I think this is alcohol marker and colored pencil and a little bit of white gel pen. I really like when fish are, like when you see them from head on, because we usually think of fish like in their profile from the side, but they're kind of funny looking when you're looking down the barrel of the fish, if you will. And then a random rabbit sketch. If you know me, then you know I love rabbits as well. Okay, more ink, brush, pen drawings, and yeah, I wrote, can I make myself like ink? Because at this point, I really wasn't sure. Once again, I feel like I'm fighting against it and I'm not using it really how it's meant to be used. I'm trying to build up the portrait with shape rather than with line. This one I really forced myself to just think about line. So it's a little bit better, but I think you can still tell that I fear the medium. And here's some really messy ballpoint pen sketches that I probably did in bed. I feel like when I do sketches in bed, they're always a little rougher, but that's okay. I actually like this little one down here. Yeah, that might be an alcohol marker and ballpoint pen. And then this is a water-based marker, so either a mild liner or a Tombow marker. Not crazy about it. I feel like I wasn't really in the groove here, and it was one of those days where I was forcing myself to sketch. You know those days where it's not really flowing, but you're making yourself do it? I think that was this day. So I drew Bilbo and I used a water-based marker and I think a coal erase pencil in there. And then different universe, I drew Dario Naharis from Game of Thrones. And this is colored pencil and it's just messy and it's a weird color palette. I don't know, it's fine. Like there's some interesting shapes. And then here I did some mechanical pencil drawings of, say it with me, cats. And I hope the camera's picking them up. I was very light-handed on this day. Isn't that funny? I think we could use some darker values in these, but I do like the cats. I think they're pretty. I like this guy with the fish hat and the chubby cheeks. Oh, and then I tried the technique of sealing the pencil with a wash of watercolor. If you've never tried that, it does work, but it works better when you haven't overfilled the paper with the graphite. So because these were light sketches, it worked pretty well. And then you can rub it and it's locked in. Okay, so we have some more dogs. These are pencil, I think mechanical pencil, and then maybe some black wing on top. Yeah, I was really happy with these two. And I mean, the difference between these pencil drawings and these pencil drawings, it's like two different people. I was a lot less afraid to go darker in values on this day. Yeah, and I liked this one. I liked how the eye of the dog on this side wasn't really discernible. I like the shapes. I like how I feel like the snout is coming forward. This is probably the first sketch I did, so it's a little Some more Colery sketches. I felt like I was using them less than I typically do in my sketchbooks, so I was like, let's do a classic red, blue Colery page. And we got some more ballpoint pen sketches, some birds. We've got a chicken and I think these are doves. And I thought it would be fun to use two different colors in the same scene. And these portraits, I was happy with them at the time, I remember. Definitely a lot less fearful of the pen at this point compared to here. Do you guys see it too? Okay, and here we have some pumpkins. I love a good pumpkin. This one is colored pencil, this one's pen. I really liked the shape of this one. And here are some Colery sketches, and these are from some childhood photos of myself. Here's me with a pumpkin when I'm roughly the size of the pumpkin. And here's me riding a pony. But yeah, I really want to paint these in oils. I love painting my childhood photos. And I wrote memories are like ghosts. That's something I think about a lot. This doesn't exist anymore. It happened, but it doesn't exist anymore. But it does exist in my mind, and it does exist in these photos. Okay, a bit of a random page here. We've got a duck in Colery's pencil, again in colored pencil and pen. We've got some bugs, some creepy crawlies, some insects here in pencil and pen. And I did that watercolor protective layer again. And here is ballpoint pen. I don't know these children, but I found them on Pinterest and I really liked the images. This guy has armfuls of, I think, leeks, which I just thought was really cool. Lots of interesting shapes in there. Okay, here. I'm not even gonna say it. You know what you see here. Sometimes I think it's fun just to pick up a random colored pencil and just do a sketch entirely with that. Sometimes it's fun just to use them as a simple sketching tool, like a pencil. Here we've got some more birds, this guy's kind of unfinished. I think it's a pigeon. We love pigeons here. Another sort of random messy spread here. Oh, it was my birthday and my partner got me some markers. We like to pick out art supplies for each other sometimes, so it's always fun to see what colors they choose, and I think he did a really good job choosing colors that are very me-coded. We've got a graphite portrait here, ballpoint pen. This is an animal called a fossa. Never heard of her, but I like her. I tried using the ink brush pen again, and I think I got the hang of it a little bit more here. I said, Emily, we're doing line today. It's all about line. I did some alcohol marker underneath before I went in with the brush pen, because the brush pen isn't waterproof, but I really like the pops of color paired with the graphic lines, so I want to do more of that. I tried to do it here. There's just a little too much going on, but it was fun. And I had a ink drawing of this fish here, and it was horrendous. So I grabbed my Himi gouache and tried to save it. It is what it is. Okay, here we have some more Earth's World State Fair ballpoint pen sketches. I think I was pretty rusty. Like, these are probably the first things I sketched that day, just trying to wake up my art brain. And then here I did some alcohol marker portraits. I didn't film these, but I was pretty happy with them. And this one is colored pencil. And here I had just picked up these 3 Holbein acrylic gouache colors. I really like these colors. I really like how they look together. I think I covered something up that I didn't like. And I drew this pen portrait on top. Here's another sketch of my dog Luna. It's hard to imagine that she's all black, but yeah, I tried to capture her crazy eyes and crazy ears and her favorite thing in the world, which is her ball. And we've got some colored pencil sketches here. We have this dog that is kind of giving me Scooby-Doo vibes, and this cat with these huge round eyes was super fun to draw, and an owl. Okay, oh, this is when I bought the 10 color pen from Above Ground Art Supplies in Toronto. It's one of those pens with a bunch of different clicky colors, you know what I'm talking about, all in one pen. And oh my gosh, I have so much fun with this pen in my sketchbook. I love it. And this was when I was first trying to sketch something that I usually avoid, which in this case is cars. I usually hate drawing things that aren't organic. I draw lots of animals, lots of portraits, plants. That's my wheelhouse. And also I always hated doing linear perspective in school. But surprisingly, this kind of awoke something in me, and now I really enjoy sketching cars. I did a video all about painting a car, a subject that I hate. I'll put it up there and down there, but you'll see some more car sketches in here. We have a couple French bulldogs with this is with that 10 color pen, and this is just pencil and colored pencil here. Oh, guys, I won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. So here I was using that 10 color ballpoint pen. So much fun. I drew Ringo Starr and it wasn't really looking like him, so I wrote Ringo Square. But I think we brought it back, and I think it kind of looks like him now. And then I did a sketch of him when he's a little older with graphite. And here we have a colored pencil radish. And this sort of style of using colored pencil, I was really inspired by the artist Amy Erickson. She does phenomenal work with colored pencils, and I think she does a course on colored pencils with, I believe it's with Warrior Art Camp, and just a bag of apples with that pen. And here's some more fun with that 10 color ballpoint pen. Here it is. It's funnily enough become my favorite sketching tool. I think it really brings out the child in me. There's something so exciting about it, and you're gonna see a lot more of it, like right here. And then down here, I don't even know, I was trying to sort of cartoonify my dog Luna, which is way out of my comfort zone, which is why I quickly abandoned it. You gotta try new things, and I do think like there's something cute that lives in there. And this is really exciting. This was the first month that my Sketchbook Pals on Patreon, we started doing a monthly prompt, like a monthly sketchbook prompt that we can all sketch and share with each other in the group chat on Patreon. So in September, we chose Autumn Harvest. So super fun. I think I did alcohol marker, colored pencil, and ballpoint pen. So we've got a pumpkin, we've got a beet, we've got an artichoke, and a kohlrabi. And I think this was actually my favorite sketch of the bunch. We have some dog sketches here. I actually really like this one, but the alcohol marker, I usually don't care about that sort of thing, the marker coming through, but it maybe even kind of adds to it. He looks sort of like a tie-dye pup. And then here is a super quick sketch I did to plan an oil painting that I did. And I did a video on that. I'll put that, you know the deal, up there, down there. And I'll put the finished oil painting on the screen too. I love oil painting and I really want to do more of it. Yeah, I have some oil painting videos on this channel. I have a playlist. And we've got some hand studies. The interesting thing here is that on this page, these are all hands from paintings. They're all hands from John Singer Sargent paintings. You can kind of see they're a little more feathery, they're a little looser. than these ones, which are studies from photographs. One's not better than the other, but I thought it was cool to study hands from both photos and paintings. It's a different experience for both, and I should really do more of that. Okay, so these are a bunch of October prompts from a bunch of different October art prompt lists, like Inktober, Ashtober, Mosstober. And I like to do this. I like to make a list of all of my favorite prompts because I sort of pick and choose from a bunch of different prompt lists, and I'm really not strict with it. I actually only did like 1 or 2 paintings, maybe only one, and it was that acrylic gouache painting of the fawn with the pumpkin. I'll put it on the screen. Once again, there's a video, and I just didn't have time, but I love doing it. I gotta do it again this year. It's so much fun. And we've got some pen pups. Oh, and this is just from another, I had this little sketchbook that my partner got me when we were in Toronto, and it was just like a tiny little sketchbook, and we were doing sketches around the city and on the train, so I wanted to stick this one in here. Okay, see, more card drawings, I promised you. And these were so much fun. I used a Tombow water-based marker, which is great because it doesn't go through the paper to the other side. And I think I just roughly sketched them out, and then I went in with a black ballpoint pen. And it's just so much fun. I realized that just because it's a different subject, just because they are cars and not portraits, doesn't mean that my style and my sensibilities go out the window. No, I can treat them in a similar way. I sort of approach them in a similar way I would approach a portrait. And I sort of think of it as, it's okay if the tire's wonky. It's okay if, things aren't perfect. There's a charm there, and I like that charm when I'm painting portraits or animals. So why not with cars, Okay, that's my rant over. Here's a portrait sketch in colored pencil. I actually painted this exact reference in the 100 Heads Challenge. It's a really beautiful, beautiful reference. It's on my Pinterest board. I'll have my Pinterest linked down below. And here's just a colored pencil mushroom. Okay, here's sort of a whatever page as well. I did this little colored pencil sketch of a cat. Not crazy about it. There wasn't a vision, which is fine. I think sometimes I sketch without a vision, sometimes I sketch with a vision, and they both have merit, you know what I mean? Yes. Okay, so this was October. Sketched a pumpkin with pen and alcohol marker, and sketched this little jack-o'-lantern, possibly from imagination. This guy's definitely from imagination. And here's just some sketches of deer, of baby fawns, and a super rough sketch for that fawn painting. And that was super fun. Like I said, there's a video on that. We've got some more dog sketches. Oh, this is a really fun breed of dog to sketch that I hadn't heard of. They're called Sealyhams. Oh, and here was our October sketchbook prompt on Patreon. It was cozy fall things. And once again, this was super fun. I did alcohol markers and colored pencil and ballpoint pen and a little bit of white gel pen for some reflections. I really liked this combination of materials, of mediums. These are not things that I would typically sketch, but I really enjoyed sketching them. Okay. Ballpoint pen and water-based marker. And I was playing around with not including all of the features from the reference photo, leaving some information out. So like this one, there's really nothing going on in the mouth area, and down the body it sort of fades away. And same thing around here. I think it gives a very cool ghostly quality that I enjoy, and I'd like to explore more of it. Okay, here's a ballpoint pen skull sketch. I always say to people, if you want to improve your portraits, you gotta practice the skull. And over here I have a sorrow head sketch. Okay, here's my little skull model. Great for practicing different angles of the skull. And even just when I'm painting or drawing a portrait, just having a skull to look at, I find helpful. And here is my Asaro head. A subscriber sent this to me. He makes them and he sells them on Etsy. I'll link it down below. Also really helpful to understand a simplification of the human head and its planes. And here's just a little Colorase portrait. Here's another sort of vacant spread. I did this sketch of what are these goldfish called? And this is just ballpoint pen, believe it or not, and colored pencil. And then I tried sketching horses, and they're hard to do. Wasn't super happy with these pages either. Trying to force myself to like ink brush pens. Trying so hard. This guy's okay. I once again did that thing where I did alcohol marker underneath. And then here I'm trying to draw things that I do like. Like I like drawing reflective surfaces and I like drawing portraits, but it just wasn't happening that day. It just wasn't a good sketching day for me. Ooh, okay, so here we have some tiger sketches. You know it, 10 colored ballpoint pen, colored pencil. And here we have some cat wizards. This doesn't count as more cats because cat wizards are like an entirely different species. So this is sweet. So this is my parents' dog, Evie, my childhood dog, one of my childhood dogs, sweet Evie. She's also a long-haired dachshund. I just did some graphite sketches of her from photos. And I actually decided to paint this one in oils for a Christmas gift for my parents. And I have a video of that as well. My parents really liked the painting. Here's sort of just a composition sketch. This is a crazy bright spread, I feel. But this page here was November's Patreon Sketchbook Pals prompt, which was small critters. So we've got a chipmunk, we've got a mouse. I'm not crazy on this one. The reference was a mouse in like mid-flight, mid-leap. And I wanted to see if I could capture the motion and just, it wasn't happening. We've got a frog and we've got a squirrel. And these are colored pencil tomatoes. I don't know why I went so like hyper realistic with this, and it's just not really something I care for. I don't know why I did it. Kind of another sparse page. We've got a basset hound or maybe a bloodhound over here with an indigo colored pencil, and we've got some graphite pups here, really focusing on shadow and light shapes. These were fun. I'd love to do a painting of one of these. This is another breed that I hadn't heard of. It's called a Berger Picard or a Picardy Shepherd. I think this is a Great Dane. I love me some huge jowls and ears, and I really like to exaggerate those features. Here I'm choosing my color palette for the Shinhan gouache that is going to be in my gouache subscription box with Craftamo that we're doing. So I wanted to make sure that I chose a palette that we would all really enjoy. And more cars, look at that. And I love playing with having the back wheels be sort of just dark masses and then having more detail on the front wheels. I think it's just so fun. I don't know. Who am I? I like drawing cars. Okay, I think I used some gray alcohol markers for these. Yeah, because you can see here. Here's a big sketch of a Canadian goose, just with a colored pencil. And here, once again, very stubborn, trying to use the ink brush pen. And I used my sign pen this time. It's a finer tip, and I did enjoy it. This one I tried to do shading, wasn't super into that. This one's more line. I liked it a little bit better. These are Earth's World references, once again. And I used a pencil first for these ones, which I think helped take the edge off. And here's more ink portraits. Not great, but I don't know, they don't look too bad when they're all together. But I've been using ink pen more recently, and I think I'm finally liking it. Oh, I liked this one. This is just using one colored pencil, and it's just a sketch of a cat with this ribbon. Yeah, I don't know, it seems really simple, right? But I really liked this one and the shapes in it. I always say that, shapes, I'm all about shapes. Pen, once again, 10 colored ballpoint pen. I like this guy. This guy, I don't know. Okay, here is when I was trying out the Copic Acrylic paint markers that they sent me. First time trying paint markers, and they were actually really fun. Here's the swatches, and here's the sketches I did. I haven't done much with them since, to be honest. Yeah, they can be really fun, but it does take a lot of layering, I find. It takes a lot of layering to get it to a point that I'm happy with. This one was fun. I decided to make the shadow like a simplified cartoon shadow. We've got some more portraits, ballpoint pen, graphite, colored pencil. Not much else to say about that. Okay, so this must have been December, and in December, our sketchbook prompt was fire. I feel like I didn't do too much. I did some Coloré sketches, and then I did these with colored pencil, and I think I ended up using the acrylic markers a bit, just because I had just gotten them and I wanted to play with them. I feel like it's too sharp. I think it'd be a little bit easier to do in a painting, like with gouache or oils. Oh, I like this page. This is my Ian McKellen page. Love the man. These are ballpoint pen, and this is ink. And this is like my first ink drawing that I really, or at least my first ink portrait that I actually liked. Do I think another artist could have done it better? Yes, but for little old me, this was pretty good. I was happy with this one, and I didn't let myself get into shape and trying to fill in large areas. I just stuck to line and line weight, and I think that's definitely the way to go. We've got some pen octopi, I believe cuttlefish. I don't know, sometimes I get confused with cuttlefish and octopus. And a frog with ink, not crazy about it. I kind of liked how I handled these guys with the ink. I like the quality of the line in these ones. Okay, here we have some bulls. I brought out a micron pen, which I rarely ever use, but sometimes I think I'd like to use it more. And we've got some more tigers in Coloré's pencil and ballpoint pen. And I tried to exaggerate the shape of this guy and make him more square, but I feel like I didn't quite push it enough. Okay, and here we've got some pencil sketches, some graphite portrait sketches. I need to practice profiles more. I think profiles are extremely challenging, and also I need to practice more intense expressions. And here I brought out the alcohol markers again, and I wanted to do some alcohol marker portraits, and this is just ballpoint pen on top. Okay, and here we've got more sketches of my dog Luna. I did some graphite. This really looks like her. And this I did with that micron pen, and I actually liked the look of the micron pen here. And this is with a new toy I got her, a West Paw Topple. I don't know why I'm advertising it, but she really likes it. You can fill it with yummy stuff. And there's her with one of her favorite spiky rubber balls. And here's her with her snood on to protect her ears from the cold winter wind. And because I liked the micron over here, I tried to use it again over here and wasn't as happy with it. I think I just did a little too much. Kind of sparse, but we've got some skull sketches and some Earth swirled portrait sketches. I was really just trying to practice the profile. I don't know, I find them so difficult. And like even with this one, I found I squished the head in. I squished him in this way, and I said, why do I squish? I don't know why I squish. And then I was frustrated that I squished, so I stretched this skull, which actually I think is cool. So we're getting towards the end, and I feel like the sketches are getting a little disparate. They're a little more random, but maybe they're always that way. This one was really cute. I'd like to paint this in oils, I think. It's marker and colored pencil and a white gel pen, and it's just a sketch of this vintage sort of kitschy cat teapot, and I just think it's so darling. It's so cute. A ballpoint pen sketch of this terrier. Here I'm practicing more with the ink pen, and I was liking it a little bit more, and I even liked how the smudging looked over here. I actually thought it looked kind of cool. Oh, here I told you there would be more figure drawings, so I'm still super rusty, but these are all ballpoint pen, and I feel like they get better as we go on, right? Like these ones are kind of rough, and then they start to make a little more sense. We have a colored pencil skull. I feel like I did a little too much here. And here's a skull sort of from behind and to the side. Another figure, a seated figure, and some just quick portrait sketches. And here we have alcohol marker portraits from my last alcohol marker portrait video. Here I decided to pair the ballpoint pen with the alcohol marker, and I like how they paired together. This one, I think I layered a little too much alcohol marker. It started getting kind of muddy. In this one, I tried to do a grisaille sort of technique with the grayscale markers and then glazing color on top. And these two I really enjoyed the most. More of these, just black ballpoint pen and I think grayscale alcohol marker. And this guy, just not a single thought, not one. And here we have more pen figure studies. I still find them super challenging. I feel like I struggle with arms and legs the most and understanding their structure so that they don't just look like meat tubes, essentially. And another Patreon monthly prompt, we did movies. So I did Nosferatu, of course. It just really stuck with me. So of course I had to draw from it. I didn't draw Nosferatu himself, but yeah, we've got graphite and colored pencil. You can tell we're getting towards the end of the sketchbook because I'm not filling in as much space and I'm sort of halfway out the door, if you know what I mean. Yeah, here we go. And again, a blank page and alcohol marker. I didn't film these, but these were really fun. I tried to simplify my portrait method with the alcohol markers here, and I really tried not to overwork it and layer too much marker, because that seems to be when things go awry for me. More persimmons. And okay, I think this is the last page. We finished how we started with some dogs, ballpoint pen, colored pencil, acrylic marker. I wasn't super thrilled with this one. I don't have a lot of colors at the moment. So I found it hard to build up this portrait of this boxer, but he's got 2 balls, really good. So that's it. There's a few more pages that are blank, but I just really wanted to finish this sketchbook. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I did find this size a little challenging for me. Actually sitting down to draw with this sketchbook wasn't always happening because it's a little cumbersome. I moved on to this one. This is also a Royal Talon sketchbook. I've got Chris Hong sticker and Sebastian Tinajero, and I'm really enjoying working in this size again. I can give you a sneak peek. Sneak peek. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, I have a couple other sketchbook tours on this channel and I have a playlist, so I'll put that on the screen. I want to say a huge thank you to my channel members and my patrons over on Patreon. You guys make all of this possible. Your support truly means the world to me. Like the video if you liked it. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you, thank you. Subscribe if you haven't already, with peace and love. Peace and love, okay? I'll see you guys all very soon in the next one. Bye-bye.